Drinking with Authors may contain adult content. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, everyone. My name is Chelsea Burton Dunn. I am guest hosting for Miss Erica Lance here on Drinking with Authors. And today we have the wonderful sci-fi author, Andy T. Hansen.
Hello.
How are you?
Wonderful. Ready to do this thing. Excited.
Awesome. Well, let's first talk about what we're drinking since we are on Drinking with Authors after all. I am having a Boda Box Cabernet Sauvignon. I was going to have a Boulevard beer because I live in Kansas City, Missouri, and we're Boulevard drinkers here, but we didn't have any. So wine it is.
I'm drinking a Modelo.
What about you, Andy?
Yeah, sorry. I'm drinking a Modelo Especial. Not like, don't have too crazy exotic taste. I'm a basic beer guy, and I didn't have High Life today, so I went with Modelo.
Modelo is delish.
Mm-hmm.
I like having a lime in a Modelo personally.
Nice.
Indeed. All right. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about your work? What do you write?
Yeah, I've I just finished my sci-fi dystopian series. It was a 3-part epic dystopian post-apocalyptic kind of epic. And I've always been a big fan of sci-fi, and so that was the first genre I started in. But I have a fantasy idea that I'm about to. I have, a lot of different directions I can go in, but definitely sci-fi is my first love. So
That's awesome. So, do you have your books on you? Can you show them off and so people know the covers and they can.
The first 2 in the series first one is Calamity. Sorry, so not Calamity is the book 1, and book 2 is Control, and book 3 Collapse is going to come up pretty soon, hopefully. So then I'll have a whole series out. But yeah, you can find these on fourhorsemanpublications.com or andythansen.com, or find them anywhere you can find books, basically. So check them out.
Yeah. Amazing. So, what got you into writing?
Yeah, that's kind of a not really long story, but I've always, I don't know, I started acting basically is how it started in local theater, and I don't know, I wanted to write my own play basically, so I started out with just writing a play, and I tried my hand at screenplay writing, and I really couldn't get anybody to read them because it's just, my wife, I couldn't get like any feedback from anybody, and my wife said, you have a story, a novel idea, I'll read it if you write a novel. So I sat down and started, and I just fell in love as soon as I started writing it. And yeah, it was a labor of love, as they say. Yes. So it wasn't really like I planned it. I just kind of did it, and once I had the book finished, I just shopped around to see what I could do with it. So that's how I got here.
Hey, I love it. I also love that, people have different trajectories, and when, you start off like wanting to write a screenplay, but it evolved basically into something else because you had the story. If I wasn't holding my wine, I'd do a heart shape, but I only have the one hand right now. So
that kind of your story there, or basically, or you just understand that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just like hearing it. I have been writing like things forever. So, but I love the, labor of love, and like kind of a story just is like kind of stuck in your head and you have to write it down sort of a thing.
Yeah.
I'm definitely that way with my books. So I totally understand. I'm right there with you.
Realized after starting to write just how many stories I had in my head, and just how many I would, I was afraid that, I wasn't going to have enough material to even finish one book. And now it's just, I have notes everywhere that I just can't stop. So it's kind of, it's been very cathartic in that way.
Yeah, it's like you open the floodgates just by like
Yeah,
actually letting yourself do it. Yeah,
right.
so cool.
Exactly.
So what inspired you like specifically to write this story, the Despot Chronicles?
Yeah, I love like stories about complex characters and great characters, and there's not necessarily a clear cut villain or a clear cut. You got your hero that's guiding the story, or your protagonist. But I just like the idea of putting normal people, in like complex situations. Those are the best, my favorite stories to read. I'm a huge George R. R. Martin fan, and I think he's the master of that. And I just thought I had this dystopian idea, this sci-fi dystopian epic idea that kind of, took on a lot of different forms. But I always had the kernel of the idea, and I just thought, if I'm going to write a story, I might as well write something I'm going to like myself. If I don't like it, I can't expect anybody else to like it. So I jumped into the two genres. I took those two pillars or whatever and combined them, and that's what it ended up. So
Okay, very cool.
yeah.
I like that. Let's see. Ooh, what were your favorite books as a kid?
As a kid, I wasn't super complicated. I just was, a Roald Dahl guy, and I didn't read a lot as a kid. In all honesty, I'm kind of ashamed of. But it took me, I don't know, maybe getting into the army and having a lot more, not downtime, but time, like when you'd be in the field and you'd have nothing else to do, just read a book. And that kind of just sparked my love of reading. And I've
Yeah.
since then, I found like really nonfiction books is really what I listen to Audible all the time, and I just love listening to a good nonfiction story. So, yeah, I don't. That's probably when I
Yeah,
started reading.
very
Yeah.
well. Then what's the most recent thing you've listened to that you really liked and would recommend to people?
The most recent book I listened to was the newest Stephen King one, but uh, that's a fiction story. The nonfiction ones are basically like whatever topic I'm interested in at the time. Like I'll read ones on astrophysics, like Neil deGrasse Tyson's astrophysics for people in a hurry. I'm really onto Bertrand Russell right now, but as far as fiction stories go, yeah, the newest Stephen King one was good. I like all the Holly Gibney stories that he does, but
Yeah.
I think it'll go back like 2 years. His most recent short story collection is the best short story collection I've ever read. There's some of the best
I
stories.
haven't read that one.
It's amazing. I love
Okay.
everything he does. I always read it, but it's my favorite thing he's done in the last 20 years. So
Okay.
I
Well,
recommend.
you've sold me. I'm definitely gonna pick that one up then because I hadn't yet. Part of it was time, but
Yeah,
um, now I'm
there's
definitely going to.
so
So
much to read out there, so I understand.
there's tons.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Make time for this.
Oh, do you, what were you saying?
I
Sorry.
was just saying, there's a lot to read, but make time for this.
Yes, absolutely. I've actually been listening to the audiobook for it.
Oh, really?
So
Yeah, he does a
yeah,
great
I've been
job.
he does. And then I've been trying to it's been a process of trying to listen to at least one of all the authors that went to PopCon because we were both at PopCon together this past June. And so I've been trying to listen to, you know, one of each of the authors' books on while I'm doing other things and working and stuff. So I finally got to Calamity and
Oh,
so
that's cool.
I'm loving it so far.
No,
So
awesome. Yeah, cool. That's great. I appreciate it. Yeah,
indeed.
Chase Johnson, I think is his name. He did a really good job. I'm really happy with both.
Yeah, he's
Narrated
great.
both of them, so yeah, they're really good.
Good. Well, hopefully he'll do number 3 too.
I'd
So,
like to have this one guy go through all of them. But yeah,
yeah, good continuity.
yes.
Oh, have you had like a lot of fan interactions or like had any notable interactions with people who've read your books and how was that for you?
I guess I had a author signing at a local bookstore not too long ago, And I was surprised when somebody recognized my story or saw that they said, came to the table and said, "Oh, I just saw this. What was recommended to me on some other thing." And I said, "Well, that's pretty." She hadn't read it yet, but my stories haven't really spread this far to get that kind of reaction, and I don't really go searching for it or reading reviews or anything like that. So I don't really
Yeah.
have a story for that. Sorry.
Well, that answers one of our questions. I was going to ask if you're somebody who reads your reviews of your book, but not so much. I do it very rarely, so I feel you.
I like that they get reviewed, and I like check to see how many reviews it has. But I don't really, if go down that road. I don't want to do that. So yeah, no.
Yeah. There's some people who, just go and read all of them all the time, and then there's other people who never ever do.
Yeah,
And I'm not sure which way is better. I kind of fall somewhere in the middle. So kind of like
yeah,
you, I
exactly.
like that it's happening. Please
I
keep
mean, I like
reviewing our
feedback, sure. You know what I mean? I'm not opposed to any feedback, but I don't know. You can fall in some rabbit holes on the internet and going down reviews and comments and stuff. So, for my own sanity,
that
I don't try not to grab
I'm
them.
right there with you, sir. Um, let's see. How do you choose your character names?
Yeah, that's a good one. I have a. We talked about this. Speaking of PopCon, we talked about this in the panel. About I was on a character creation panel with. Gosh, I can't remember their names now. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, we it was a pretty interesting conversation because I like me personally, I have a mixture of sometimes I like to do homages to other genre or characters that I like throughout history or maybe even people I know, but I don't like to do too much of that. I like to do maybe a little Easter egg here and there for my family and friends, but I also like to just come across a really good name or just while I'm if I just think of a good name while I'm out, I'll write it down, and then if it fits the character, then filling up for it. And then I also do another one where I, I, well, I don't know if I how to say that because I feel like I have a character and then I find the name that's right for that character, but I'm not really like I don't know how it comes to me, but yeah, when it's right, I
Yeah.
know, and it's about yeah
Yeah,
when it works.
I feel that. Have you ever had to change a character's name after you've already named them? Oh, sorry.
I don't know if I can recall an exact time. I think I have. Now that you're saying that, I think I thought maybe that's not working, but I can't remember who exactly that was. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think it was like a tertiary character that wasn't really, yeah, all that important. So I can't recall exactly how. You got to dump some stuff,
Hey,
so
that's fine.
that.
Hey, yeah, no, yeah, you can't remember everything.
Yeah.
Can't remember everything, that's for sure. Let's see. Are you I feel like I already know, but are you a pantser or a plotzer or a plotter
Pantser
or a,
with, I don't start a story unless I have an arc, a good idea of what's got to happen in the story. But I'm not afraid to, while I'm writing, if something occurs that I wasn't expecting, to just follow that rabbit hole where it goes. I'm almost telling myself the story as I'm writing it. That's what I feel.
yeah,
It sounds a little pretentious,
like you're
but
going through it with the characters. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I feel that. Let's see. Oh, if you could pick up a new skill instantaneously, what would it be? Like think
Oh,
Matrix style.
one skill instantaneously. Maybe woodworking. I've always admired woodworkers, and I have a lot of woodworkers in my family, and I just am inept at that kind of stuff. So that would be
Yeah,
one that I
Steve.
feel like I would love, working, just being in the shop, and I do love the smell of it and all that kind of stuff, and the idea. But I got no skill, so I would love to. Like, grant me that, I might put that one to use.
Yeah, that's honestly, it's so funny you say that because very recently I took my kids to it's this old mansion that's turned into a museum, and it's like a museum of Kansas City or old time Kansas City. And because it's like this old mansion, there's tons of like these ornate wood carving everywhere.
Yeah.
And it is so cool. And my older daughter said to me, she was like, I want to do that someday and just have my house covered in all of these like wood carvings. And I was like, well, I mean, good on you, but that's so hard. Like, so
Plus,
I like that answer.
yeah, you got to get all the tools too on top of it, and, so it's a commitment,
Right?
to begin with. But it's that's for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be one I would like.
Yeah, that would be so cool to just instantly be good at.
I
Because
don't
you
know
are
where.
basically a sculptor just with wood. So,
Yeah, I don't know where I would work the time in for that, but I might have to spend less time writing. But I'd find a way.
no, we can't have that. Okay, here's one of my favorite things to ask authors. What is your favorite snack to have while you're writing?
Yeah. I like the those pretzel chip things that they call. I don't even know what the name brand is anymore. It's like the thin ones. I get those snacks a lot. I don't really eat a
Oh,
lot. Like there's nothing else going on, and I don't take breaks to eat. You know what I mean? I should, but I tend not to. But
yeah.
that's my go-to, just regular snacks. So I'll put that one down
Okay. Yeah. Do you
there.
have a favorite thing to drink, or are you just like a water and that's it while you're a writing person?
No, I don't drink enough water. I should drink a lot more water. I'm a Mr. Pibb, Dr. Pepper kind of guy who's way too much of that. So
I got you.
my life
I
runs
used
on.
to be.
Yeah.
I feel you. Yeah, I stopped. I had to make myself stop drinking soda because I was one of those people who like never drank water, only drank soda constantly. So I understand from the former. The former Chelsea understands.
I gave it up
Let's
once
see.
for like 2 months, and I didn't drink like a lot of soda. And I'm like, I don't know why. I didn't feel any. Maybe I did, but I just was like, screw it. I'll just start drinking pop again. So yeah, I got to give it
Oh.
another chance.
No, you're good. All right, let's see. What is a weird habit you've developed that you do while you write?
Ooh, yeah, these are questions. I take some. I got to take a look at myself now. I don't. uh,
Well, if you can't think of one, I
I
have
don't know.
another
Just weird ticks. I
adjacent.
guess I don't have any like weird habits while I write. Sorry.
No, you're good. How about what is a weird like grammatical thing that you catch yourself doing or your editors have caught and then you have to watch out for? Like ellipses. I am a big ellipses person. So
I do. Yeah,
they
that's
have
a
to
good.
take it. Yeah.
Yeah, my
I
my grammar comes back just riddled with, hey, this isn't. I try to stop myself from using the semicolon, but for some reason I every once in a while I'll put one in there because it just feels right, and I don't know quite when to put it in there correctly. And I was reading this Kurt Vonnegut quote the other day where he said, like, semicolon just proves that you went to college and you know what, like you don't have to ever use it. And I'm like, I guess it's kind of a pretentious thing. So maybe a little too much semicolon, not knowing when to use the ellipses or the em dash. Those are like
Mhm.
stylistic calls for some part. There's some grammar rules in there too. But yeah, I was funny that you say that. I was thinking the other day about how I avoid if I ever writing a that like I'm talking about, like that, where you're saying,
Yes.
well, that looks good. I bought that. I bought that or some. You use that back to back. Those
Or
ones just.
he had a yeah.
Yes, the
Oh, those
double
kill
word.
me. And
Yeah,
sometimes you can't
and
well,
I don't know
and
how to
sometimes
structure the
you can't
sentence.
get away from it.
Yeah, that one's I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
gotta
Or
abandon the paragraph. I redo it. Yeah. There's
well,
no
yeah, or
sticking.
I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there, and I'll come back to it on the next edit, like
Yeah.
draft 2. Sure, I'll figure it out then. But
Yeah, it's
nope.
important not to
I
derail yourself on that too. It's like, yeah, just get the idea, get the thought out, and then go back. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Let me see. Well, what is something that you think is a common trait amongst authors? I had that question asked recently, and it was, what do you think is one thing that's true of all authors? But I think that's a little too blanket. We don't want to blanket all authors in one thing, but uh, a common author thing that
I
after
think,
having like met a lot of other authors and stuff, what do you think?
well, in some way, I think we're all kind of armchair psychiatrists or sociologists. Maybe would be a good. We're we're just kind of studying the human condition and people, and just being observant of meeting. You know, just I don't know character. We notice character, I guess, a little more. Maybe.
I
I've
think
noticed that the conversations I have with authors are usually about people.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I think you're totally right. It's like we're good at people watching and
yeah,
absorbing like intention behind people's actions because we have to, because then we can translate that in words in our stories. So
yeah. We want
that's
our
good. I
characters
like that.
to be real people, and so we model them after real people. And to do that, you just I don't know. It's not like an active thing, either. It's just kind of our disposition. Probably not a
Yeah.
universal thing, like you said, but yeah,
Eh,
ubiquitous.
indeed. Do you have any events coming up or anything that
No,
people
I don't.
can see you at or
I got another, not till November, but it's in the same Charlene's Book Nook in Frankenmuth. Sorry, stumble. I like to mumble a lot. I'm doing another book signing there in November, and my book
okay, yeah.
I have a really good um, Michigan authors section where there's probably a dozen Michigan authors that they have the books there for, and we're come in on a rotation there all the time. They're really great. So that's really the only thing I have in my writing career. But I also in that same month am doing we did 10 November at the community theater here a couple years ago. It's a play
Yeah.
about the Edmund Fitzgerald, if you know that at all. And this is going to be the 50th anniversary of the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. So we're redoing that play where we're putting on a staged reading of that in November. So I got that coming up November too. So
Oh,
that's
I
really
love that. Yeah, that's big. So
yeah,
yeah, you've got a big November coming. I know
yeah.
that's some months away, but still knowing about it in advance, people can watch your social media for it. So that's great.
Figure I
And
can pack
then
some
you've got your
writing
third book
for the
coming out at some point. Yeah.
yeah.
Ah, sorry, there's a fly just randomly decided it really liked my hair. Goodness. Let me see. Well, I think we can start talking about some shameless self-promotion. So you said you have a website. What social media platforms are you on too?
My website is andythansen.com, simple. And I'm on Facebook and Instagram as Andy T. Hansen, and then Blue Sky. I'm on there as Andy T. Hansen too. So check me out, like and
Awesome.
you
Yeah.
follow. I guess.
All the
Yeah.
news and yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then that way if you follow, oh,
Oh,
and
and
you've got
also
a newsletter too, right?
Substack too. Yeah, you can find me on Substack, and you can sign up for my newsletter there. So yeah, please do that.
Yeah. And then that way you can keep up to date. So all of the November shenanigans that go on, people
Yeah,
can make sure that they are supporting or going to those things. So that will be great.
yeah.
And all right, well, one last time, show off your books, and then we'll
All right. Calamity
Yay.
and Control. 1 and 2. The
And
Desperate
then if you
Chronicle.
follow him, you'll hear all about what was the name of the last book?
Oh, the last book's Collapse. But
Collapse. So
series
follow
is
him on his social medias and right. You'll find out when his last book comes out that you can, and when you can pre-order it and all that jazz.
Yeah.
And then you'll have a complete sci-fi epic by Andy T. Hansen, and it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. Well, thank you everyone for listening to our lovely Drinking with Authors, and thank you for letting me host instead of Erica. Hopefully we can do this again. And thanks, Andy, for joining me tonight and being awesome, and chatting with me about all the weird questions I had for you.
Thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Have a great night, guys. Thank you for listening to Drinking with Authors. Join us next time for another fun conversation with an author over drinks. All right.